All right. That's the facts. Knowing that, knowing that Social Security is in trouble, knowing that taxes, all right, that's the facts. Knowing that taxes is potentially going up, knowing that pensions are going away, and you got to rely on your savings, which the government controls, does that scare anybody at all? Does that make you feel vulnerable at all in what's in the future? I mean, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but if I don't tell you, nobody else will. If nobody else tell you, then you're going to be just like the 77% of people who run out of money. So we got to talk about what do we actually do to save ourselves and to save our families so that we don't end up in the same reoccurring pattern that our family has been in. What do we do to break that curse and to be generational curse breakers? If we're going to be generational curse breakers, we got to make different decisions. We can't make the same decisions. The definition of insanity is doing the exact same thing, expecting a different result. Look, let me tell y'all, like, really quickly, my story. My grandmother was a rock in my family. She was a person who sort of held the family together. I grew up homeless because my mom had me when she was 15, when she was in an abusive relationship, unfortunately, where she would get beat. And one day she definitely struck up the courage to leave. But when she struck up the courage to leave, we had to live in shelters. Remember, my mom was super young. At this time, she's like in her early 20s now with 3 kids, with me and my two younger sisters. And, it was definitely a scary situation because we grew up, not only were we in the projects, but I had to watch my mom get beat. So when she left, she went to a shelter that was for protecting women. And we went from shelter to shelter, and my grandmother didn't know where we were at because my mom wouldn't tell her. But one day she found us. I don't know how she found us, but she found us, and she had us come to her home in her really small house. So it was me, my mom, my two sisters, my grandmother, in this really small house. And we were there for a while. And one of the things, I mean, I'm thankful for it because one of the things that my grandmother taught me was to never let the circumstances of my life dictate the outcome of my life, that I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. And she taught me that I can do whatever I put my mind to. And I really believe because of that belief system. Now, my grandmother, she wasn't a rich woman. She worked the same job for a lot of years. She did save in a retirement plan, 401k, but nobody in my family really had a college education, barely a high school education. My mom didn't graduate from high school because she was pregnant with me at 15, never went back. She ended up going back and getting her high school diploma when she was 50 because she wanted to make sure and prove that she could do it. So I'm actually the first person in my family to go to college. Once I graduated from college, I went to law school. My first semester in law school, I got a call that my grandmother was sick with cancer. And that really, hurt me because my grandmother was a strong, independent woman. And one of her number one fears was not being a burden on the family. She didn't want to be a burden on the family. In fact, when I moved back, she made me her durable power of attorney, which means I was responsible for looking after her finances, even though at the time I knew absolutely nothing about money. But one of the things she told me was, I can't lose this money. And we told her advisor, she can't lose the money. She wanted to be safe. The advisor said, okay, bet, you can be safe. They put her in risky investments anyway. She lost half of her money when the stock market declined. She had no long-term care insurance. She ended up passing away 100% with no money on Medicaid, feeling like she was a burden on the family. And when that happened, you all, that really put me into a position where I felt called to do something different, to be a generational curse breaker for my family. So I became obsessed with studying financial literacy. I wanted to study everything about money, how money works. I wanted to understand how the bank works. I wanted to understand how the financial advisors worked and why they gave my grandmother bad advice. And I actually started my career as a financial advisor at Edward Jones. And I was there for about 5 years. And while my time at Edward Jones was good, I remember one day this lady came to me. She was in her mid-60s, and she looked at me and said, "I can't afford to lose any of this money." And at this time, I was trained on all of the financial jargon that these financial advisors said. I was like, "Oh, don't worry about it. Hang in there. You're in it for the long haul. It's only a paper loss. Don't worry about it. It'll eventually come back." This lady looked at me in the eye and said, "I don't think you understand. I cannot afford to lose any of this money." So when I saw that lady, I saw my grandmother. So what I did is I did pull her out. I did put her into some safer investments, and I got reprimanded by the company. She turned out to be right. But one of the things that made me realize is that these companies didn't necessarily care much about the client. They only cared more about what was happening to their bottom line. And my conscience wouldn't let me stay. Now, the family thought that I was crazy for leaving a six-figure job when I grew up without any money. But sometimes when you know better, you got to do better. Sometimes you got to listen to your conscience instead of listening to your mind at that time. And my conscience wouldn't let it sit right with me. I had to do something different. This is the reason why I got into this industry, to make a change. This is the reason why I got into this industry, to not be like everybody else. So I decided to leave, and I started my company. And it was tough. Don't get me wrong. As an entrepreneur, I'm not going to lie, several times where I was like, why did I do this? Several times I was like, man, I could be making more money working at a job. A lot of times. And every time I wanted to go back, my conscience wouldn't let me. So I kept at it, and I built something real strong, you all. I became one of the top financial advisors in the country. I've written several books. I was elected to the Hall of Fame in 2021. I've been able to start a mentorship where I've helped a lot of people. I've been able to do a lot of things where I've helped thousands of clients in my financial firm. I've been able to create opportunities in the financial industry for hundreds of people. I've been able to help hundreds of people make six figures with a brand new career, past six figures. And, to me, it's just a blessing to be from where I came from to where I am right now. So the reason why I do these free webinars, the reason why I'm doing what I'm doing right now is because when I started in a financial career, I wanted to do just this. I wanted to help out my people. But I was broke. I wasn't making any money. I was barely paying my mortgage. And one of my mentors told me, look, the best way to help poor people is to not be one of them. And when he said that, it stuck with me. It was like, man, you're right. Because on a plane, when you get on a plane, they say what? First thing you got to do is put the mask on yourself, because you got to help yourself, because if you're not around, how can you help everybody else? And I had to realize that if I'm not in business, I won't be able to help any of these clients. If I'm not in business, I won't be able to provide for my employees. So I got to be in business. So I went to where the money was. And I feel like I significantly made enough money and profits to where like I can bring it back to the people. Look, you all, I'm doing this for free. I made over $2 million this last month. It is not profitable for me to be doing this webinar, but it's my calling. It's not profitable for me. I could be making a whole lot more money dealing with my company, but God told me my purpose, and my purpose was to do just what I started off to do, to make sure that I came back and got this information into your hands. And that's what I'm doing. I'm giving y'all this information, y'all. I'm giving y'all this information for free because I want you all to win. I want you all to at least have a taste of what's possible if you put your mind to it. What's possible if you actually go for your dreams, if you don't give up. But the number one thing you have to learn is financial literacy. I'll tell you why. Because many of us, our goal is just to simply make more money. And don't get me wrong, you should want to make more money. But do you want to know how many people who I've met who have made multiple six figures, seven figures, who are broke, who did not understand financial literacy? And just making more money doesn't mean that you have more money. In fact, making more money could mean that you have more debt, which means you have even less money if you don't know how to handle it. If you don't know how to handle it at your stage right now, Let's say if you're only making 50,000. If you don't know how to handle your $50,000, you're definitely not going to be able to handle $1 million. So we have to be good stewards of what we have right now. And this is what this webinar is about. How do you be a good steward of what you have right now so that when you do get more, and you will get more, you know how to handle it. Those of you who are not stewards of the little that you have now, why would you be blessed with more? So we have to treat whatever we have as a test for a blessing. All right, so let's go back to this really quick. What I want to do is show you some of the mistakes that people make and how you can avoid those mistakes. Let's say you're 42 years old. You want to retire at age 65. Is anybody feeling me right now? Who feeling what I'm talking about right now? How many of y'all know what I'm talking about when I say you can make more money, but just having more money doesn't mean you're in a better financial situation? Any of y'all made more money and still ended up at the same place financially? Has it ever happened to any of y'all? So what I want y'all to understand is that you're not alone. So if you see the comments, you'll see a lot of y'all. See, here's the problem with a lot of us. We all think we're doing it, we're struggling, or we're going through financial stuff by ourselves because we don't talk about money. And because we don't talk about money, everybody thinks they're in it alone. But when you get into groups and someone's vulnerable and they start talking about money and talking about, some of the challenges that we face, you'll see that everybody around you having the same challenges. A lot of people having the same challenges, but we're so busy trying to keep up with the Joneses, and the Joneses are broke. So we're keeping up with a broke person just because it looks like they're doing something, just because they drive the fancy car, just because they have the nice house. But you might be in a better financial situation than that person who has a nice house, who has the shiny things, who's on social media flossing and capping all the time. All right. Now, back to the event. So we got 42. Let's say we're age 42. Retirement age is 65. Current income is 102,000. Your income growth is 3%, which means you're growing by 3% every year. And you have currently $88,000 in savings, and you're making an investment return of 6% per year. So these are the inputs. So what this means with this same income level, this means at retirement age of 65, the income potential that you would have made is 3,310,194. That's 102,000 with a 3% growth rate every year. That means a 42-year-old, by the time they're 65, would have saw 3,310,194 go through your hand. So the problem is not, will I be a millionaire? The problem is, how fast will you be a millionaire? See, all of us are saying the same thing, and we're saying the wrong, what do you call it? We're saying the wrong affirmation. We all saying, I want to be a millionaire. I want to be a millionaire. I want to be a millionaire. A lot of y'all are saying that. And here's the thing, you will be a millionaire. The question is not will you, is when will you be a millionaire? Because $1 million will cross through your hand, but will you keep it? So it's not will you be a millionaire, it's how quick you become a millionaire, because the quicker you get to your dreams, the longer you get to live them. So we need to get to those dreams quicker. All right? We want to enjoy it. Your wealth potential will be 6,989,710. What that means is that when you include the investments and you include the growth of your investments as well, then you will have made with investment return up to 6,989,710. Right? So let's talk about that. Now, obviously, we're not just keeping all of this money without taxes, without inflation, without expenses, without debt. right? Without having to live the lifestyle that we want to live. So let's just say we were paying 25% in taxes, 20% in debt, and 50% was going toward our lifestyle. In this example, out of that 7 million or so, at the end at 65, you'll see this person has 668,817 saved. That's the green. The red was taxes, which is 1,663,000. How does this feel to you all, knowing that this is what most people do? And by the way, I said a 5% saving rate. Do you know that 5% is on the high end, that the average savings rate is only 2.5%? How do you feel knowing that over this time frame, you would have paid much more in taxes, 1.6 million, than you've actually saved, 668,000? Does that feel good knowing that you save more for the government than you save for yourself? But this is what we do. My people are destroyed because of their lack of knowledge. All right. So check this out. What most people are going to do is go to an advisor and say, I need to make a better return because I need to make more money. I'm running out of time. So their advisor says, what if their advisor is able to get them 8% instead of 6%? Then guess what? They're in a much better savings position. Instead of 668, they have 946,000. The problem, though, is when you attempt to get more risk, what else do you have the potential to have? More losses. See, you really don't want to be in a position where you have to take more risk just to survive. Because when you do so, that's how people take the 50% losses and the 60% losses. They try to get too greedy and try to take too much risk. But what if we could take that number back down to 6%? So we're back at the 668, 817. But what if you met somebody like me? And what if I showed you how if we could simply reduce your taxes and get it from 25% down to 20%, if we can simply reduce your debt service down from 20% down to 10%, and we kept your lifestyle exactly the same. Remember, we wanted to live the exact same lifestyle or better. So what if we kept your lifestyle the exact same, and all we did, kept your investments at 6%, reduce your taxes from 25 to 20, and reduce your debt down from 20 to 10? What type of change will that make in your portfolio? Look at this, you all. 1,666,852. This is making the exact same amount of money. This is paying the exact same tax rate. This is living the exact same lifestyle. This is making an even lower rate of return. But the only difference is that we were able to manage your money more effectively over time, and you stop losing money unknowingly and unnecessarily. It's like you got a bucket, right? And you got money, water running through the bucket. And what we try to do is we keep trying to fill up this bucket as fast as we can with more money, better jobs, working harder, getting more sales, tiring ourselves out. But the problem is not more money. The problem is that bucket that you have, it has a leak on the bottom of it. It has holes in the bottom of that bucket. And the more money you make, it's still dripping out slowly, and it's still draining that bucket. At some point, we got to stop thinking that we need to pour more into the bucket, and we need to just get some tape and seal up the cracks in the bottom of that bucket. Well, if we did that, then guess what? Even if the money trickled in slower, we're going to keep it. Some of my wealthiest clients in my financial firm never made more than $50,000 a year. They just knew how to be efficient with their money, right? Some of my brokest clients is the ones who tried to take major risks. They're the ones who tried to say, oh, I got to invest in all of this crypto. I got to do this NFT. I got to do this. I got to do this. And they were losing money left and right. trying to live expensive, trying to show off, trying to show that they had what it took. And they were broke. I've met doctors who had no more than $15,000 into their name, very successful doctors. And I've met teachers who were multimillionaires. So again, we have to keep the money and do the right thing. So this is what we want to do, you all. We want to build this tank up, and when the money flows, we want it to flow up to our future lifestyle. We're going to get to the point where we take some of this money and bring it up to our future lifestyle so that it goes into this tank. These are your investment tanks and your savings tank. So the next question is, once we pump money up, what is a good percentage to save? I always say around, 20% or so is a good amount to save when most people are not saving that much. If you want to read a book about it on what you should be saving and how you should be living, a really good book is called The Richest Man in Babylon. Another good book is called The Millionaire Next Door. These are really good books on financial literacy. Even Dave Ramsey has a book. Now, I don't agree with Dave Ramsey on everything, but he did write a book called The Total Money Makeover, which was a good book. So there are a lot of books that you can read on this financial literacy. But once you save, it's not just about saving. It's also about how much of this money do you actually, it's not just about saving, you all. It's about the structure, the tax structure in which you save. You can save a lot of money in a wrong account and cost yourself hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars over time. You can save the money in the wrong investments, and you can lose half of it when you really need it. So the last thing that we want to do is spend all of our time pumping money up to our investment and savings account, and we're saving in the wrong places. So let's talk about that for a second. So there are 3 levels of risk. My back is hurting me a little bit. So there's 3 levels of risk. You have high risk, you have moderate risk, and then you have no risk, no to low risk. And each one of them are different. They have different characteristics. One, higher risk common characteristics has high volatility, higher return potential, but also a higher chance of loss. Remember, the more risk you take, what goes up also does come down. So you're going to take some major losses at some point. Then you have moderate risk, which is limited liquidity. It's moderate. It's in the middle of the road. But then you have no to low risk. That's going to be guaranteed returns. That's going to be no loss provisions. That's going to be high liquidity, so a lot of access to your money. But you're going to have lower return potential. But then there's also 3 different types of tax buckets. You have taxable, tax deferred, and tax advantage. Taxable is the money that you save inside of after-tax dollars. So for example, you got extra money sitting in the bank and you invest that money into some stocks. Well, that is a taxable account. The reason why is that you get what's called a 1099 every year, which means that you have to pay taxes on those dividends. And if you sell it at a gain, you also have to pay capital gain taxes. This is triple taxation because you've already paid taxes on the money. Now you got to pay taxes on the dividends. Then you got to pay capital gain taxes. And guess what? Even if you lose money, but you still get a dividend, it's possible that you lose money and still have to pay taxes on the dividend. How's that going to feel losing 30% of your money and then you still get a tax bill on the dividends of money that you didn't even spend? That's crazy. But that's how taxable accounts work. Then you have tax deferred accounts. That's going to be your 401k, IRAs, etc. This is the type of accounts that you defer taxes. But guess what? You don't just defer the tax, you postpone the tax. You defer the tax and you also defer the tax calculation. So when you put your money into a 401k and you take the money out, you're literally going to be paying more money on that. And then tax advantage, that's going to be tax-free. That's the money that's going to be in your Roth IRAs, the Roth 401ks. That's the money that's going to be in your cash value life insurance. that money is taxed never again. Which means that if I have $100,000 in there and it grows to $1 million, I get to take out the entire $1 million eventually with no taxes. Versus if that money was in a tax deferred account and I put $100,000 in and it grow to $1 million, I got to pay taxes on that entire $1 million at whatever my tax rate is, which could be 30 to 40%. So imagine one account cost me $400,000 just by simply saving in a wrong account, and I made an extra $300,000 to $400,000 simply by saving in a right account. Can you see why tax structure is just as important as what you invest in? I just took some turmeric. Somebody said turmeric is good for back pain, inflammation. Just took some. Thank you for that, though. Let's go back to that 88,000. So this is the desired mix, y'all. Maybe we put a third in taxable, tax deferred, tax advantage, a third in high risk, moderate risk, and no to low risk. Most people are invested like this, though. They have 100% of their money saved in tax deferred accounts. And it's all in high risk. This is how most people are investing. Where this is how you should be investing. So just by seeing what I've showed you so far, can anybody think of any changes that they know of that they need to make right away already that I've just showed you? All I'm doing right now, I'm not giving you details on how to solve it completely, but I'm making you aware of it because awareness is the first step. If you don't know where you are, how can you know where you're going? I want you to be aware. Another thing that I want you all to do is I want you all to really take inventory on what you are spending. And what I mean by that, there are some of you that are paying for subscriptions that you're not even using, software that you're not even using anymore, but it's reoccurring. And the worst is those apps on Apple. If you got the iPhone and you get that $4.99, don't sound like a much, $59.99, $7.99, you get that yearly renewal and you forget about it, and you have to keep paying it over and over and over again, and you're not even using some of these apps, some of these softwares. I'm going to tell you, when you go back and you look at that, you might find there's an extra $300 to $500 a month or more in many cases that you could be saving and putting and investing that money and putting it aside. No tax one is going to be the Roth and the cash value insurance. Here's another thing that you can do. Some of y'all have phones and you have other subscriptions that you're paying for that you don't really want to get rid of, but it pays you to shop around every once in a while. I was paying for this one software like $2,000 a month for all of my team to use this one CRM software. And I went and I was ready to walk away. I was going to cancel and move to a different CRM. And then they took me all the way down just because I was threatening to leave to like $780 a month, from $2,000 to $780 a month. Y'all can do the math on that. That's me saving like 20 grand just because I was willing to walk away. I still walked away even after they gave me the discount, but it just goes to show you. Today, I just had a situation where I was paying for a feature, a compliance feature for my financial firm that was $6,000 a month. I'm switching companies. As soon as I said I was switching companies, they came back and said, well, we're going to reduce that by $10,000. All I had to do was threaten to leave, and they worked with me. If you work with your companies like that, how much money could you save? What if you saved extra $1,000 a month? What if you minimized what was in your 401k down to the match, and that was an extra $400 or $500? What if you were overpaying on your house and you decided to do the right thing and have a 30-year and pay the regular amount on the 30-year, and you freed up an extra $600 a month? What if you had credit card interest and you had equity in the house, and you took the equity out of the house as a home equity line of credit to pay off that debt, and now you just freed up another $500 a month? If I'm able to help you to find an extra $1,000 to $2,000 a month that you're losing unknowingly and unnecessarily what would you do with that money? Would you spend it or would you save it? Most people are saying save it. Now, if that was the case, every time you made more money on your job, you would save it. And we know that ain't the case. So let's be real. You're not going to save it all. Let's just say you're going to invest some of it. Then we're going to use some of it to help elevate your lifestyle a little bit more. Is that all right? What if we took that $2,000 and we said we're going to take $750 and we just going to do something nice every month for ourselves, but then we're going to save the extra $1,250. Can we agree on that? We got to be real. Perfect. Now the question is if we save it, where are we going to save it? Well, first off, we can't afford to wait. Procrastination is the assassination of your destination. Why do I say we can't afford to wait? Well, let me show you. Let me take you back to my screen. So let's just say, let's say the younger people. We can do younger, older, doesn't matter, but we're gonna take you back with this. Let's just say that I'm 25. I'm saving until I'm 65 and I'm earning an 8% rate of return. All right, so let's just say I'm saving, we'll call it 12,000 a year, so like 1,000 a month. No, that might be a lot for people to think about. Let's just say $500 a month, $6,000 a year. That's it. So I'm saving $6,000 a year, and I'm not even going to increase that with inflation, which most people will do. But if I'm saving $6,000 a year up until I'm 65, I have just saved $240,000. But look at my account balance at 65, 1,678, 1,678,686. This is just $500 a month, you all. $500 a month. But what if you waited? What if you want to get to that same 1,678,000, but you waited until you were 35 to start saving? Well, now it's not $6,000 a year. Now it's $13,721. So now you need to save in less time, $411,625 to get to that same 1,678,000. But what if you waited to 45? Now you need 33,966,000 per year to save. That's 679,315. And then if you waited to 50, that's $57,000, 246 per year. And some of y'all are waiting until you're 55. That's $107,000, $295 per year to get to that 1,678,000. So you're gonna have to save $1 million just to get to 1,678,000. That's why it's important to think about saving now, right? Don't wait. The best time to start is when? Write in the comments. When is the best time to start? Now. The best time to start is now. Stop waiting. What are you waiting for? Every day that you wait is putting you further, putting your legacy further and further behind. That's why you got to make an appointment with yourself this week to say, I need to tell my money where to go. If you tell your money where to go, you'll be amazed at what can happen. I know that y'all are afraid of the word budget. You don't need to budget. Here's what you need. You need a spending plan. You don't have to be tight. You can do what you want to do, but you need to control your money and create that spending grant plan from the grave. If you don't have a spending plan, if you're not telling your money where to go, here's a website that you can go to. There's a website called let me see. I'm gonna try to write it in the chat. So iwbnin.com. iwbnin.com. That stands for I was broke, now I'm not.com. I was broke, now I'm not. Look it up. That website helped me to really tell my money where it needs to go in order to work. And it's been a long time since I've been to that website, so I don't even know. I'm assuming the website still works. Let's see. Yep, still works. Free tools, click on free tools. Put in your information. They got monthly budgets, weekly budgets, mini budgets, debt freedom date calculator, actual cost of debt calculator, early payoff calculator, investment value calculator, retirement nest egg required calculator, known upcoming expenses. All of these tools are free. So just go here. You can thank me later. All right, cool. So what do you put your money in? So what I'm going to show you is really quick a 10-minute lesson on life insurance and why I believe that life insurance is one of the best places for some of your money to go into. All right. So let's say I have $500. I may have $500,000 death benefit. Here I come. So I have a $500,000 death benefit. There's a minimum that I can put into it, and there's a maximum that I can put into it. Who determines a minimum that I'm putting into my life insurance policy? The insurance company. Who determines a maximum that I'm putting into my insurance policy? The maximum is the government, the IRS. Why would the government be concerned with how much money I'm putting into my life insurance? Only one word: taxes. Now, there are different ways that you can design these policies, but the most important thing to understand is that in the 1980s, the government had to do something because millionaires was dumping too much money into these policies without any rules, without any regulations, and they never had to pay taxes on that money. So the 80s, they created their own savings plans called the qualified plans. That was IRAs, 401ks, SEP, 403bs, etc. Now, if you put too much money into these policies beyond what your death benefit will allow, they call these a MEC, which is a modified endowment contract. All that means is they're going to tax it the same way they tax your IRA, 401k, SEP, and your 403b. So we got to structure these the right way. So you could do a minimum amount into this policy, or you could do a maximum amount. The minimum amount is determined by the insurance company, and that's called term insurance. The only benefit to term is the death benefit. The $10,000 better be good if I'm putting $10,000 into a policy. So what good comes out of it? Where you're going to get tax-deferred growth. You're going to get tax-free distributions. You're going to get a competitive return. You're going to get very high contributions, additional benefits. You're going to get collateral opportunities. That's the ability to borrow against your policy. It's safe, no loss provisions, which means I can't lose. Guaranteed loan options, which means nobody can turn me down for a loan. Unstructured loan payments. What that means is that I can pay back the loan whenever I feel like it. If I don't pay it back, I have to pay it back plus interest on my death benefit when I die. So I don't technically have to pay it back. Nobody's checking my credit report. Nobody is turning me into the credit bureaus. And plus I have liquidity, use, and control of my money. So if I do this the right way, I want to structure this for the lowest amount of death benefit and the highest amount of cash value. And when I do it that way, you all, the benefit is I get more of my money going toward the cash value than I do the death benefit. The problem is that most people have these policies structured in a way that most of the money goes to the death benefit, which means you never see your cash value grow. You can have a policy for like 2 or 3 years and wonder, why is this policy not growing? Well, the reason why it's not growing is because you're paying for all of that death benefit. That's why we want the lowest death benefit for the highest cash value, because most of that money is going to go to work. The reason why nobody has told you about this is that it is very hard to get a man to understand something that their wallet depends on them not understanding, because they're going to get 70% less commission if they do it this way, right? This is why when you come see our company, we're going to do it the right way. In fact, all of you can schedule a time. If you don't have your policies right now, if you don't have your policies set up and structured the way you want them, or maybe you don't have this type of policy that's structured for the highest living benefits and the lowest death benefit, you can do that. All you have to do is I'm gonna drop a link, and I'm gonna give y'all a complimentary meeting with my team. And on this complimentary meeting, which is normally $495, we're gonna help you structure and set up your policy the right way so that you can do it right. So let me go ahead and put this in here for you. All right, I just put the link in the chat. This is what it's going to look like. When you click on this link, it's going to say, claim my complimentary 15-minute call. I want to stop the threat of taxes from destroying my financial freedom. I want to recapture money that I'm losing unknowingly and unnecessarily, and I want to securely extend my wealth to the next generation without taking huge risks. You click on that. It's going to bring up a calendar for your wealth creation call to become your own bank. Just click on the calendar, select the time, and you're going to get a free time to talk to my team. Okay? Somebody said I had a meeting with Keon early today. Awesome. Somebody said, what if you don't have a policy at all yet? Then you 100% need to click on that link. Okay? So make sure you schedule. Now, for the rest of you, what I want to show you, let me pull this off. All right, so all I did, you all, was showed you something to get you thinking, right? To get you thinking about what you need to do. But this ain't done, y'all. This is just the beginning of the journey. How many of y'all realize that the information that I gave y'all today was just a small sample of the information that I want to give you to transform your financial wealth? How many of y'all are ready to transform your wealth? Write in the chat, transform. If you are really ready to take your mental money mindset to another level, where you have a plan, where you have a blueprint, where you actually know where you're going to put your money, you know how to plan for your money every single month, so you're not giving more away to taxes, that you're protecting it with a trust, that you're making sure that you have the blueprint to make sure that you save wealth that is not being lost through the compound interest. Write transform in the chat. I'm seeing a few of you are ready to transform, but not all of you yet. That's okay. Some people are not ready. Some people just want information and not transformation. And that's fine too. But for those of you who do want a transformation, here's what I'm doing, y'all. I want to celebrate the people who take action. So I'm going to give a discount to the people who take action today. I am doing a 5-day Transform Your Wealth Challenge. A 5-day Transform Your Wealth Challenge. Now, in this challenge, you all, one of the things that I'm doing is I am showing you step by step how to build your policy, teaching you about policy loans. I'm teaching you about how to have the correct financial literacy, what investments you should put your money into, how to actually find a lot more money that you're losing unknowingly and unnecessarily, how to make better financial decisions so that you can walk into 2024 the right way. Okay, so if that's you, if you're ready for that, let's go ahead and drop that link, Vanessa. If you have that link, can you drop that link a few times for the challenge? There are 2 ways that you can pay. There's general admission, and then there's VIP. The general admission is only $97. $97 is just going to get you into the Facebook group. That's it. You get 5 days worth of content, 5 hours worth of information to transform your life for only $97. The VIP, now click on it, I'll show you. Okay. So you're going to learn to think and move like a wealth creator, how to build a team for your business, how to become your own bank through life insurance, how to protect your assets through a trust, and also additional ways of earning income, focusing on passive income, right? So again, total value of general admission is $497. You're going to get it for $97. The VIP experience is going to come with not just the private Facebook community, but you're also going to get the pre-challenge kickoff party. You're going to get exclusive VIP hub with resources. You're going to get dedicated challenge workbook to keep you accountable. You're going to get extended 30-minute Q&A with me each day where you can actually ask me questions and I'm going to answer your question based on whatever the session was we just left. And you're going to get the Zoom background and more. So you're going to get a lot of good extra goodies. That's $797. But if you take action today, you can actually get VIP for only $197. VIP is going to be my all-stars. These are the people that I'm spending the most time, that I'm pouring the most energy into. I want to see all of you win, but I definitely want to see the people win who invest in VIP, right? So, because those are my people, because they're investing more into themselves. And I tell people all the time that the best investment you'll ever make is not the S&P 500, it's the S&Me 500. You got to invest in yourself. The dates of this challenge, you got some time to plan. The dates of this challenge is it even on here? It's in March. I'm not even seeing the dates on this challenge, but it is in March.
It's in March 11 to 15.
Okay, is it on the website or is it not on the website yet?
It's usually there, I think.
We must have took it off.
I can drop in the chat, Marvin.
Yep, that's fine. Yep, March 11th through the 15th. So write that down. Save your spot. Remember, this is not the time to delay and say, you know what, I have time. Remember, procrastination is the assassination of your destination. I reward people who take action. It's called the first mover's advantage. So I want people to take action on that. Let's see. And I'm going to be looking on my phone to see who's actually taking action. Who are my leaders who say I'm not waiting until March the 15th, where I have to pay more money just to get into this same challenge? Who are my leaders that are taking action today? And we have one person so far, that's T Battle, who's VIP. So because we got T Battle, who's taking action and saying, I'm not waiting, I'm not even waiting on a date. I know this is serious for me to transform my financial life. Today, because T Battle just wasn't afraid to do VIP at 197, I'm going to give T Battle my course that's worth $3,000 for free. Because he wasn't afraid to move and take action. Or she, I don't know who T Battle is. I can't even see. So T-Battle, congratulations. I reward people that take action. So you're going to get my $3,000 course for the 197, and you still get to be in the VIP for the challenge. So congratulations. Where are my action takers at, y'all? Action takers are money makers. Action takers are money makers. That's all right, Tijuana. And Vanessa, if you can get Tawana's information, email, etc., so that we can send her the information. All right, we got a couple more in. Shout out to Rakeem, who took action on the VIP. Shout out to Emily. What's up, Emily? I definitely remember you, Emily. I think you're in St. Louis, right? Shout out to Anthony Hill, who took action. This VIP. Look, y'all, we on a mission to change some lives, y'all. I don't know if y'all have saw my YouTube. If not, I'm gonna give y'all my YouTube link because I want y'all to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I got a video that I just did on my podcast this past let me see. This past Monday about an agent on my team who I just helped make $400,000 in less than 3 months. And this guy came from, he wasn't even working. He used to be a police officer, but he wasn't even working. And he went from not working to making $400,000 in 3 months. 3 months. LaToya on my team made $325,000 in 3 months. So you can tell while I just had my best end of the year ever because I helped pour into the people on my team and stop serving the individual clients. When you got somebody who's a multi-millionaire.
GL1 streaming lights to work with one of these cool Elgato streaming decks. So thanks for being
You better pay $197 to learn from a millionaire, I'm telling you. Especially one that actually cares. Let me go to YouTube.
All right, so the way this whole thing is going to work is these lights need to be on
Hold on, y'all.
so they can communicate with my computer. Once they communicate with the computer, we can use our Elgato Stream Deck app. We can use our newer lock.
Okay, here we go. I'm gonna actually give y'all the episode. I want y'all to go watch it. There you go. I just gave y'all the episode. Make sure y'all watch this episode and also go to my YouTube and just subscribe to it. Go to my YouTube and subscribe to it. Shout out to Shalandia. I don't know if I said that right. Shalandia VIP as well. Congratulations. All right, go ahead and click on that link, y'all, and subscribe to my channel. This is going to be very inspirational. You're going to see what's possible when you actually believe in yourself and you show up and you believe what's possible. So Vanessa, one last time before we leave off, I'm about to go ahead and go, but I did celebrate the people who did purchase. But before I go, Go ahead and drop that link 1 or 2 more times, Vanessa, for people who not the YouTube, but to buy their challenge ticket, the Transform Your Wealth Challenge. Go ahead and drop that link in there. Click on that link, y'all. Make sure y'all take advantage of this. You got to take the next step, y'all. Don't stop here. Don't stop at this free information when we got information that everybody who attends my 5-day challenge say their mind was transformed. They say we gave them like $20,000 worth of value for like $100. It's crazy. Why do I give y'all so much value for that $97 or $197? Because it takes something to show up for a webinar for free because it's your time, and your time is worth money. But it takes something else to not be afraid to invest in yourself. The same way that we invest in food, the same way that we invest in a hotel when we go out of town, for a plane ticket when we travel. I need to make sure that people are serious enough to at least invest a minimal amount into their financial literacy and financial education. Because if you're not even willing to invest a little bit of money into your financial education, then I can't spend any more time with you that I need to, because you showed me that you don't even believe in yourself, or you don't believe in what you're doing enough to even invest a small amount into your own financial education. Some of y'all, you say, I just can't do it. And I understand that. You just can't do it. But I better not see y'all at no steakhouse this next week talking about some you just can't do $97 for financial education. I better not be seeing y'all buying a human hair. I know that human hair be like $2,000. Talking about some you can't afford $97 for no financial literacy. And I better not see no red bottoms on your feet when you can't invest $97 into your financial education. Don't get me started on the Louis, the Coach, oh my God, the Chanel bags, all of that. I'm getting on the men too. Don't worry. Don't worry. Don't even worry. I'm getting on all of y'all today. I'm just saying, if you having a hard time, live like you're having a hard time. Don't be saying you're having a hard time when you eating all the steak dinners, but you're not paying $97 for financial literacy. That's all I'm saying. All right, y'all. Shout out to Marlon Spencer for taking action on the VIP. Shout out to Marlon Spencer, Shalandia, Anthony Hill, Emily, Pacheco, Rakeem, Tawana. Y'all all took action. I'm telling y'all, we're about to do something powerful. We are about to do something powerful this year. I cannot wait. My goal, you all, I got to create 100 millionaires. At least I'm going to start off this year saying I'm creating 100 people that's doing at least multiple 6 figures. At least. At least. I'm teaching financial literacy, but I'm also teaching you the opportunities, if you don't have it, on what you can do to make the money. All you got to do is follow my lead. That's it. Venus, I see you. Venus, I see you. I see you, Venus. Having some technical difficulties with you, but don't give up. If not today, just don't give up, Venus. I see you. Venus is hungry. We're going to make this happen. All right, y'all. With that being said, you all have been wonderful today. Hopefully, y'all got some great information. I am doing this hold on, wait. Complimentary 15-minute call. Okay, so everybody gets a complimentary 15-minute call. Whether you bought your ticket or not, you all get the complimentary call with my team. That's wealthcreationcall.com. Everybody gets that just for attending this seminar. That's just my free gift to everybody. That's whether you bought the VIP, that's whether you bought any ticket or not. Unfortunately, somebody said that, do we also get the $3,000 course? And the answer is no. Unfortunately, I throw surprises every once in a while. I only gave Tawana the $3,000 courses that she's the first person that wasn't afraid to take action immediately. Because believe me, if I told everybody that they got the $3,000 course and I told y'all that was going to happen, everybody is going to be getting a $197 thing just to get the $3,000 course. And that wasn't the point. The point wasn't to say that, hey, if you pay $197, you get a $3,000 course. That wasn't the point. But I did want to show you all, teach you all a lesson that quick action takers are money makers. I want to train you all to learn how to take action quicker. Success loves speed, right? I got to train you to take action during the opportunity of a lifetime, during that lifetime of the opportunity. That's super critical. The reason why so many people are poor, they remain poor, is that they actually pass over opportunities repeatedly. That's why we have to take action now. That means no opportunity wasted. So with that being said, so Tawana said, yep, I did some research and knew I was in the right spot. No hesitation here. I was waiting for that link. Didn't know about the surprise. Truly a surprise. Absolutely. All right, y'all. Anyway, love y'all. Appreciate y'all. Whether you joined or not, keep following me. Keep watching me. Keep getting good ideas. Keep betting on yourself for financial literacy. Let's look down one more time and see if anybody else took action. Shout out to Nicole Daniels for taking action. Shout out to Nicole Daniels for taking some action. Before we left, she was like, I'm not going to get left behind. I love it. Let's see. Who else was we shouting out? All right, I see you. I'm reading your private message. All right, y'all. So, hey, look, I like to take us out. Put your fists in the air. This is how we typically this is how I always take my team out. I'm gonna say something to y'all, some inspirational. At the count of three, we all gonna say dominate. And Vanessa, get ready. I don't know if you can take everybody off of mute. Once I'm ready, once I'm about to say dominate. So, hey, y'all, this is our season. This is 2024. This is the year that we transform everything. I want y'all to understand that 2024 adds up to 8. This is very significant because 8 is a year of abundance. Abundance means that if you have ever wanted to go out and get something, the season is open. This is harvesting season. You got to go out and make it happen, y'all. It's going to be easier to make money for a lot of y'all this year than ever before because the harvest is ready, but the laborers are few. So who will be the laborers that are going to go out and take action and go get what is due to them? And who's going to sit behind and just wait on the sideline while everybody else make the money? So if you are ready to go out and make something happen and make some massive changes to your family, to your life, to your wealth, and also to your physical fitness, prosperity is more than just money, then on the count of 3, we're all going to say dominate. We're going to agree on that. Y'all ready?
Mute yourself.
1, 2, 3.
Dominate.
Dominate. Let's go.
Let's go.
Dominate.
Thank you, Marvin. I
Dominate.
appreciate it, man. I
Let's
appreciate
go.
you.
Let's go.
Thanks, Marvin.
Y'all
Let's
later,
go.
y'all. Let's get it.
Thanks, Marvin.
Appreciate you, Marvin.
Bye, y'all. Appreciate y'all.
Peace.